Yep. Gonna look for some bugs. I got about 5 drops of water on here, something like that, and the water sort of spread outside of its normal boundary. I just put too much water, I guess. So it's going to be a larger search area. I have not switched to light field, been sitting on dark field, because I like the way it looks. What the heck is that? My eyes still haven't adjusted after looking at the light from the microscope. That appears to be some sort of dead thing. It almost looks like one of those weird fungi that I've been watching. I've been seeing some videos on YouTube about fungi, parasitic fungi, carnivorous fungi, the oyster mushroom uh, being one that feeds on nematodes, which are these worm-like, snake-like uh, microorganisms. I got outside the water there. But yeah, that thing there looked like something. It's just a bubble. Oh, what's this? Is it dead? Is it alive? I don't know if it's moving, but it looks like it was once alive and is no longer alive. Maybe a dead worm, maybe a dead rotifer. I just want to go back to this little piece of moss right there. It almost looked like something was in there. Scanning across. Come back. Well, that looks like another thing. Oh, that one might be alive. Did it move? Oh no, that's a piece of sand. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Rotifer. Yeah. Or a worm. It's a worm of some sort. Yeah, another one of those inchwormy thingies. Oh, and there's another one. Somebody mentioned to me that, you know, being on how tiny these things are, you cannot see them with the naked eye. You can only see them at least this is 100 times magnification. That these things could easily get into your system. And I said, yeah, but you know, I'd like to think that the acid in my stomach would kill them on contact too. Let's see what else is in here. Every once in a while I see these little round things, and I wonder if it's an egg. See it? What is that? Some sort of egg? Or is it just a bubble? Some itty bitty little swimming things in there. What is that? That looks like a dead thing. Or could be a rotifer that I can't see his head. Sometimes I shake the table so I can see if something jiggles. I can tell if it's sand or something alive. Oh, I saw something moving there. What were you? Oh, that's just a bubble. Not a whole lot of life in this drop. Here's a big piece of moss. I like to scan through and see if anything's crawling around on it. Swimming around it. Nibbling on it. There's a worm. There is a worm. Rotifer? Can't tell sometimes. Looks like a worm. Couple of them. Another worm. Another little worm. It's just a little baby worm. It's just a little baby worm. I don't know. I'm getting down to the bottom of this drop. The bottom of the drop. I think that's where you find the beat. Right there at the bottom of the drop. It's where the beat is found. Another worm. There's worms everywhere. Lots of worms. Hey, I think that's it for this drop. Gonna have to prepare another drop. That was from the very first sample, which I've only looked at a few times, so I don't really know if there's anything different in it or not. But I'm just gonna clean off this slide here. Bye bye worms. Cleaning off the slide. I know you can't see it, but I'm cleaning it off the slide. And then I got this little thingy here. And we'll get a sample. Okay. Oh, damn, that's a lot of junk. Five drops. I gotta get out of the way because now I'm blind. I got three dots like right in my face because I've been looking at the where you gotta put the slide down. All right, there we go. This one is much more alive. It's got a lot of little things in it and worms. Another worm. You like my lights? That worm looks like he has a full stomach. Because I can see right through him and I can see his stomach. Focus. Oh look, what's this? Something dead, I think. Take a closer look. Oh, yeah. Maybe? Maybe he's alive. And he's just kicking it. I don't know. Oh no, he looks dead. These little guys have run into him. And they're all hanging around him too. They're probably all munching on him. As this sample gets older, it gets more and more infected with these little things. Whatever they are. They look like little ticks or lice to me. They could be bacteria, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. No, I don't think they are. I think they're like little I don't know. Little flies or ticks or larvae or something. And this thing here looks like a dead rotifer, maybe? can't tell whether it's alive or not. It does not seem active, but you never know. I think it's only moving around because these little guys are hitting it or feeding off of it. One of the two. Alright. I need new samples. I need some moss and some lichens. A lot of these kind of things grow on wood, trees, or even fences. And I think that's where I might find water bears. Or moss growing in ponds or any other kind of stagnant water. Yeah, I think this sample, it's got a lot going on here, but there's a lot of dead things. Exhibit A. And I think a lot of them are worms that got too big, ran out of food. Because we are not really trying to feed these samples, I'm just trying to see what's in them. You can feed your samples, you can keep them alive by boiling hay. It's called a hay infusion. I don't know. I mean, I suppose hay should be fairly easy to get around these parts. You know, being that there's a lot of dairies and stuff about. I don't know if I want to boil hay in my kitchen. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? My kitchen could smell like boiled hay. It looks like a dead thing. No, is it alive? It's dead. It's dead, Jim. Yep, lots of dead worm things. There's another one. So, there's a turkey in the oven I'm gonna eat later. So I got hamburgers for lunch from ordered, delivered, because, you know, it's Christmas Eve. There's a thing. Is that thing alive? It's hard to see it down there on the surface. Looks kind of dead. What's that? Not sure. Think it's dead. Everything in the sample is dead, except for these little itty bitty bugs and some worms. There's a worm. There's another worm. There's a gelatinous thing. Maybe it's a mini jellyfish. I don't know. But yeah, this sample is like full of dead things and worms. So I guess it's worm food? And little bug things. Another worm. I was trying to figure out what it was. Is it sitting there crawling on some moss? But yep, another worm. Worms everywhere. Worms. Sometimes I get lazy with the focus when I'm scanning. I'm like, it's in focus enough for me to see if there's anything. There's 3 worms in this shot. Lots of worms. Oh, what are you? Something dead. Who knows? Rotifer. There you are. One of my favorite things so far. No? Or is it a worm? It's hard to tell until they... Yeah, that's a worm. It's not a rotifer. So it's hard to tell until they stick their little wheels out. Some similar behavior. So they stick, their foot to one thing and sit out there and clean the water. But these guys sometimes do either. I'm not sure about this thing right here. Paramecium? I believe it is. It kind of moves like a paramecium. It's very slow right now, but I've got to constantly adjust the stage, move it around to follow this guy around. It's kind of interesting. He does kind of have a shape of a paramecium, but I don't know if he is actually, because he moves a little more agile. And he looks like he's got some little like hairs on his face. It's hard to tell. Oh, he's definitely not a tardigrade. I'll tell you that much. Okay, we were just in this area. Go down. Focus. A dead thing. It's like a worm. Fur. There you are. Nope, not. See? Oh yeah, it is. It is. So maybe they are one and the same. It's hard to know. I ain't no scientist. But every once in a while, it looks like these guys can like do both, but maybe not. It's hard to tell. I think it's just a worm. Yeah, there's a lot going on with all these little things. Hmm. More worms. Always worms. This looks like a bunch of little eggs or something. Probably little worm eggs. See, there's another one. Right there. And another one, and another one. They're all over the place. Some kind of little egg. Probably a worm egg. Probably some sort of worm egg. Who knows? Yep, that's about the end of this drop. That is the end of this drop. There's another worm. Worms. I look down over here and there's a little baby kitty cat. She took her helmet off and she's just laying down here next to the daddy. Alright, got another drop coming up right here. There's a lot of material in here, and this is from our largest sample. It's super active. And we're about at the top here. Also notice that the viscosity of this water is super thick. And like I said, there's probably a lot of dead things in here, but that's quite okay, I guess, for now. Especially if I happen to find a tardigrade, although I'd rather find one alive than dead. But if I find one, then I know where to go to get one. I know that I'm supposed to look for lichens and moss. Oh, and there's a worm, or paramecium. Similar to that other thing we saw in the last sample. There also is something at the top of the frame here. Looks like another worm. This sample has a lot of stuff in it. Dead worm. No, not dead. Maybe. Don't know. You've heard of the scanning electron microscope? This is the scanning, what would you call it? The scanning photon microscope. Hopefully you don't get dizzy. I kind of have some vertigo, so I can't move it too fast myself. Kind of makes me loopy looking at video moving from side to side. Yep. Not much in this drop. Well, kitty cat. Kitty cat don't care. Kitty cat don't care. Kitty cat's taking a nap. Kitty cat says, "This is boring. Don't got no tardigrades, no amoebas, just worms everywhere. Couple of rotifers, not today though. I always think I see them and then they end up being worms. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Unless I think about some other samples. Need to find some new samples. And find some new bugs.